Twin brothers Andrew and Brandon Kennel have been fencing for 5 years. Andrew Kennel is an economics major at Western. He began fencing on the foil.
The foil is primarily a thrusting weapon. You'll notice that it has a slight bend so that when we stab people, it bends. It also has a rubber tip for protection. And it has a heavy pommel to counter the weight. The foil is held with 2 fingers, like such, the other fingers wrapping around for support.
Kennel joined Western's fencing team last year. He attends all the team meetings that take place before each practice. Head coach Carol Christie is a former fencer. Fencing is a classical sport and could be considered dated, but its competitive presence on campus is growing.
We train hard so that we can develop skills. All of the universities have fencing teams that include people who have never fenced before, never even seen a weapon before, because there isn't the broad base such as in other sports.
The fencers practice for 2 hours twice a week after the meeting.
All students are welcome to join Western's fencing team, so nobody has to fight for a spot. Protective gear and blunted sword tips also ensure that nobody gets cut.
The students who choose to fence with the epee warm up before suiting up. Zachary DeLumi is a second-year science student. He got into fencing because he loves sports, and fencing is accessible for everybody.
I wasn't too sure about fencing right when I got into it, but you fall in love with it the minute you hold the sword, you know, it's just the best.
Beginner fencers start on the foil. The epee is a more advanced weapon. The electric points monitor is a modern twist on an old classic.
It's similar to the other swords, probably most similar to foil, where you have a point here, so when you hit someone, it sends a jolt through the sword all the way to the body cord. Then it goes through the body to the machine, and then the machine then makes a beep, and you know that you got a point.
Kennel now fences against his brother with the sabre. The sabre is primarily a slashing weapon. He competed at nationals last year and hopes to compete again this year. Although it's not a traditional varsity sport, Kennel says the athleticism involved in fencing should not be discounted.
I think that it requires a completely different athlete than what people are used to seeing on TV. It's not like these big muscular guys, you know, walking around. It's very, very, like, for the most part, thin, aerobic, very cardio heavy people. They're athletes in their own way, and it has relevance because it trains not only the body but the mind as well.
Kennel finds it tough to compete against his twin brother because they think too much alike.
It's very weird because we know what we're going to do ahead of time, so it tends to get really sketchy. It's very slow. It's very unnerving because you have to be very unpredictable to be able to get each other.
Whether he's competing one-on-one or on a team of 3, the competition is fierce. And the training is tough. For London Under 30, I'm Jenny Kent.